The Prince and the Pauper, Chapter 7, Tom's First Royal Dinner. Now, up to now, we know the story. Tom is the prince now. Prince is the beggar now. Now, they have exchanged their positions and places. Okay. Today, we are going to read how Tom takes part in a royal dinner that he has never been to. This is Tom's first experience about royal dinners. Okay. Tom's first experience about royal dinners. This chapter is very humorous to read. Tom makes a lot of mistakes, a lot of blunders in taking dinners because he does not have any experience regarding this matter. Okay. Writer presents it in a humorous way. Somewhat after 1 in the afternoon, Tom resignedly underwent the ordeal of being dressed for dinner. Now, Tom is being underwent the ordeal. Ordeal means the difficult task of being dressed for dinner. Now, to take part in dinners, the prince has a special costume. Now, Tom is made ready for that. He found himself as finely clothed as before. Now, Tom is finely dressed as before. Now, in the palace, Tom has many clothing items, unlike in Awful Court. Now, in Awful Court, he had only one suit, but in the palace, there is a special dress or costume for every occasion. He found himself as finely clothed, nicely dressed. Finely clothed means nicely dressed as before, but everything different. Everything different from rough to stockings. Rough means the collars or the front upper part of your dress, and stockings means the lower part or your trousers. He was presently conducted with much state. He was now taken. Conducted means taken with much state, with a great respect, much state, to a spacious, ornate apartment. Spacious means very big. Spacious and ornate. Ornate means decorated. Beautiful apartment, room. That is the dinner room, where a table was already set for one. There is a table for one person. Its furniture was all messy gold. Messy means much gold. Much of furniture of this room is golden or gold-plated. Therefore, this room looks very extravagant, elegant, and beautiful. Designs, well nigh made, nearly made. Well nigh means nearly made, it priceless, very valuable, priceless. Since they were the work of Benvenuto. Now, Benvenuto is an Italian carpenter, creator. Now, this Italian creator is the man who creates this beautiful furniture of the royal dinner room. The room was half filled with noble servitors. Now, room was half filled with noble servitors. Servitors means servants. Now, room is already filled with servants. A chaplain said a grace. Chaplain means someone like a priest. Now, it's a Catholic custom. Before eating meals, they make a prayer to God. They give thanks to God for giving them food and drinks. Now, it is this religious custom, but Tom is not used to such customs at awful court. Tom was about to fall too. Tom was just about to sit and begin eating because hunger had long been constitutional with him. Now, hunger. Hunger is natural, inherent. Constitutional means uh, hunger is natural and inherent in Tom's uh, stomach because he has less food at awful court, but was interrupted. But Tom cannot eat food as he likes. He interrupted. He was stopped by my lord, the Earl of Berkeley. Is a royal officer. Now Berkeley stops Tom's eating uh, before praying to God. Then after that, Berkeley, who fastened a napkin, who tied a napkin. Napkin is something, a piece of cloth to protect your cloth from falling droplets of food. A napkin about his neck, neck, for the great post of diaperage. The Prince of Wales was hereditary in the nobleman's family. Diaper is the person, a servant, who fastens. So napkins, or who offers drinks, or who washes hands and all other things, cleaning services, something like cleaning, diapers. It is hereditary, customary in the nobleman's family. Tom's cupbearer. Cupbearer means somebody who offers drinks. Tom has a cupbearer was present and forestalled. Now Tom tries to take drinks by himself, but Tom does not know that there is a servant for each and every activity. Therefore, he was stopped. All his attempts were stopped in helping himself to wine. Now, Tom tries to take a drink of wine, but the cupbearer stops it. The taster, there is a food taster to his highness. The Prince of Wales was there also. Food taster. What is the duty of the food taster? His duty is to test poisonous food, bad food, to protect the prince or royal people from poisoning and food poisoning. Prepared to taste any suspicious food requirement. Upon requirement, when requirement is needed, he will check all food items and offer the prince, and run the risk of being poisoned. Right. Now, that is how Tom's dinner is being made ready by these royal officers. Then I will go to next page. There is some description about the people. We don't need them, right? Go to page 44, second paragraph. Second paragraph. All those that were present had been well drilled. Now, all the servants who were present had been well drilled. Well drilled means well advised, well instructed within the hour to remember that the prince was temporarily out of his head. Now, all servants, all noble people, all officers, now they have been advised that the prince is out of his head, therefore don't care what he does, what he says. Right? And to be careful to show no surprise, though don't show any surprise at the prince's mistakes or blunders. Just take them for granted and don't care about anything of the sort. No surprise at his vagaries. Vagaries means foolish things or some mistakes or blunders, vagaries. Uh, the vagaries were soon on exhibition. Now Tom's vagaries, foolish thing, mistakes. Now I told you Tom commits a lot of mistakes here because he does not know how to use fork and spoons, how to eat such and such food items because he has no experience. At Awful Court, he eats only a piece of bread and nothing else. But here at royal dinner, there are a lot of food items right around him, just before him, and he does not know what to eat, what not to eat. Therefore, he makes a lot of vagaries, foolish things on exhibition before them. But they only moved their compassion. But the servants, they showed only their sympathy, their sorrow, not their mirth, but they never show their happiness uh, about the prince's mistakes. It was a heavy affliction to them. It was a heavy affliction. Affliction means a great pain to them, great shock to them to see the beloved prince so stricken, beloved prince so stricken. Stricken means so sick with madness. Poor Tom ate with his fingers mainly. Now, Tom does not use mm, Tom does not use forks, spoons, knives. No cutlery are used, but uh, he uses his fingers because at Awful Court he uses his fingers to eat food, and even at this royal dinner table he uses fingers. This is very odd, unusual. This is very odd and unusual because royal people never use their fingers to eat food. No one smiled at it or even seemed to observe it, notice it. He inspected his napkin. Next, he looks at his napkin right round his neck. It's very beautiful, attractive, curiously, anxiously. He is worried about this napkin because um, he will spoil it. He will spoil it with falling food items, pieces of food, with deepest interest for it was of very dainty, very soft, beautiful fabric piece of cloth. Then said with simplicity, now Tom orders the diaperer, Preeti, please take it away. Remove this napkin, otherwise, in my unheedfulness means carelessness. Because of my carelessness, it will be soiled, it will be dirtied. I will dirty it. I will spoil it. Please remove it. Now, actually, the function of the napkin is to be soiled or is to be dirtied, is to be spoiled by falling food. But Tom does not know the use of this napkin because he is not used to it at Awful Court. The diaperer took it away with a reverent manner, with a respectful manner, and without word or protest of any sort. Tom examined the turnips. Now, I earlier I told you that this dinner table is full of unfamiliar food items that Tom has never seen at Awful Court. This is a novel experience. But Tom learns, Tom learns everything, all royal food items by taking part in this dinner. This is a new lesson, new experience for Tom. Tom examined turnips. Turnips means some yams, something like potatoes, and lettuce. Lettuce is some leaves with interest because Tom has never seen lettuce or turnips at Awful Court. Now these are new food items for Tom and asked what they were. Now he questions. He learns by questioning. He questions the unknown food items. He questions if they were to be eaten. Can I eat? Can I eat these leaves? Can I eat this potato? Are they to be eaten? Something like that. For it was only recently that men had begun to raise. Raise means grow. Now it is recently English people grow these things in England in place of instead of in place of means instead of importing them from Holland. Holland, Netherlands. Holland means Netherlands. His question was answered with grave respect and no surprise manifested. Now, Tom's questions is answered with grave respect, serious respect, but no surprise. Nobody shows any surprise or wonder at this question manifested. When he had finished his dessert, now this is some another blunder, mistake Tom commits. What is this? It is very humorous. After finishing his dessert, he filled his pockets with nuts. He takes some nuts, fruit and nuts from the dessert ball and put them all into his pockets of his costume. Right? This is unusual. This is unusual, absurd, abnormal, but nobody appeared to be aware of it, but nobody notices it. Nobody cares about it because it is the king's order. The prince is mad. A mad prince may do anything. Therefore, the servants do not care about it. They do not even notice it. They neglect it. They ignore it. By the next moment, he was himself disturbed by it, but Tom was unhappy about it, disturbed by it, and showed discomposure. He showed some discomfort, some discomposure means discomfort, uneasiness, because for it was the only service, it is the only thing he had been permitted to do with his own hands during the meal. That is the only thing he could do, stealing food item from desert bowl. For all other actions, there is a servant, but for stealing food item, there is no servant. Tom has to do it himself. Therefore, he feels somewhat ashamed, shy, ashamed about this action, but he cannot help it now. Unprincely thing. For him, it is an unprincely thing, but he does not regard it as unprincely thing because it is the only thing that he himself could do. At that moment, the muscles of now there is some trouble to Tom. What is that trouble? His muscles, nose, begins to twitch. Now nose is itching. He must itch it, twitching, and the end of that organ lift and wrinkle. Now he, right? He lift and wrinkles the nose because it needs some itching. This continued, and Tom began to evince, show, manifest. Evince means show, grow in distress. Now, Tom is in distress, unhappiness, sorrow, uneasiness, because his nose needs some itching like this, but he is afraid to do it himself because there may be a servant for itching, scratching. Therefore, he hesitates to do it himself. He looks appealing. Appealingly means hoping some help. Appealingly means expecting some help at one and the other, another of the lords about him. He looks at each lord about him, appealingly requesting some help, and even tears came to his eyes. Even his eyes are full of tears because of pain. He cannot bear it anymore. He needs itching. They sprang forward with dismay in their faces and begged to know his trouble. Now, servants, these royal officers, they try to know Tom's trouble, anguish, genuine anguish, with real pain. Anguish means pain. Now he says, I crave your indulgence. I need your help. Indulgence means your intervention or, yes, intervention or help. My nose itcheth cruelly. My nose is going to itch cruelly, badly. What is the custom? What is the manner, custom, and usage in this emergency? Now, what is the custom in this emergency? Prithee, speed, quick, because it is but little time that I can bear it. I cannot bear it for a long time, only for a little time I can bear it. Please, hurry up, hurry up. What can I do? I need to itch my nose. But these officers do not know what to do because there is no officer or servant for scratching, no royal scratcher. None smiled, no one smiled, but were perplexed. They were confused and looked one to the other in deep tribulation, in deep thinking. Tribulation means deep thinking. for counsel, for some advice, for some help. But behold, see, here was a dead ball. This is something, a dead ball. Dead ball means a situation without any answer, a situation without any solution. This is a situation, a solutionless situation. Nothing in English history to tell how to get over it. The master of ceremonies, uh, the master of ceremonies, functions, traditions, customs. Ceremonies means now that master, that officer is also not present to have some counsel. There was no one who felt safe to venture. There is no one who felt safe, protected, or safe to venture. Venture means to take the risk. There is no one to take this risk. What is the risk? Risk of scratching the princess' nose. Upon this uncharted sea, unknown area, unknown situation. Uncharted sea means unknown situation. Or risk the attempt to solve this solemn problem. This is a serious problem, but no one knows, no one take the challenge or risk of taking this serious problem, solemn problem. Alas, there was no hereditary scratcher. Now, this is the problem. Now, in the royal palace, there is no traditional hereditary scratcher, a scratching servant. One has to do it. King has to scratch himself. Queen has to scratch himself. Princess has to scratch himself. Likewise, Tom has to scratch himself because there is no servant for scratching. Meantime, the tears had overflowed their bank. Now tears are coming out of Tom's eyes because of unfeignful anguish, pain, nose, and began to trickle down. Now tears trickle down, come down, pour down Tom's cheeks. His twitching nose was pleading more urgently than ever for relief. Now nose is twitching, it needs some scratching soon. At last, nature broke down the barriers. Finally, nature broke down all etiquette, all customs, all barriers. Etiquette means customs, way of doing something. Rules, all rules, etiquette. All rules were broken down. Tom lifted up inward prayer. Tom made a prayer for pardon if he was doing wrong and brought relief. He brought relief to the burdened hearts, all sad hearts of the court by scratching his nose himself. He scratches his nose himself. That is the custom. There is no royal uh, scratcher or hereditary scratcher. Right. Now, in this way, uh, Tom makes so many humorous blunders. The last one, his meal being ended, at the end of his meal, a lord came and held before him a broad, shallow, golden dish. Now, another servant brings Tom a broad, very big, shallow, not deep. Shallow means not deep, golden dish, golden bowl with fragrant rose water. Now, this bowl has rose water, fragrant rose water. What for? This bowl is for Tom to wash his fingers and mouth. In our own culture, it is the finger bowl, something like finger bowl, to wash mouth and hands, to cleanse his mouth and fingers with. And my lord heralded diaper. Now diaper offers it to Tom. And he stood by a napkin. He has a napkin, handkerchief in his hand for his use to wipe Tom's mouth and fingers. Now Tom takes the bowl into his hand. Tom gazed means looked at the dish, puzzled a moment, thought a moment. Now Tom does not know what to do with this finger bowl. Is it to drink or is it to use is it to be used for hand washing or something? No, he has no idea. Then he raised it to his lips. He takes it to his lips. You know what he does? He drinks from it. He drinks from the finger bowl. It's very humorous, hilarious, absurd, abnormal. Gravely took a draught. He took one mouthful. He drinks one mouthful. Then he returned it to the waiting lord. Nay, no, it likes me not. I do not like it. It has a pretty flavor. It has some flavor, but it wants a strength, but not sweet. I do not like it. Now, in this way, Tom drinks from the finger bowl. This is the last blunder he makes. This new eccentricity of the princess, this mad behavior, eccentricity means contradictory, odd behavior of the prince, ruined mind, made all the hearts about him ache. Everybody suffered from this pain. Everybody was, everybody was worried about Tom's this eccentric or mad behavior. But the sad sight moved none to merriment, but no one is happy to see this. You know, at the end of this desert, now dinner is over. Tom makes a lot of blunders. Now the final religious action, religious function, the priest gets up to say the prayer again. Tom's next unconscious blunder, mistake, unknown mistakes, blunder means mistake, was to get up and leave the table. He left the table just when the chaplain, that priest, had taken his stand behind his chair and with uplifted hands, raised hands and closed uplifted eyes was in the act of beginning blessing, calling upon the God, making the religious function. But Tom does not wait for it. He leaves the place. Still, nobody seemed to perceive that the prince had done something unusual, right? Now, that is the end of Tom's royal dinner. Okay, let's write down the comment on that part. You read the last paragraph by yourself. Okay. Write down Tom's first royal dinner. Chapter 7, Tom's first royal dinner. Write down the topic. Chapter 7 depicts how Tom takes part. Chapter 7 depicts how Tom takes part in his first royal dinner on the first day, on his first day at the royal palace. Royal palace. The writer presents the chapter in a humorous way, describing every abnormal abnormal vagary, vagary, vagary means mistakes, foolish mistakes. That Tom commits at the dinner table. That Tom commits at the dinner table. Full stop. This is Tom's first royal dinner. First royal dinner, and is a Novel experience, NOVEL, is a novel experience, is a novel experience, NOVA, is a novel experience to Tom. Novel experience to Tom. However, 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 this royal dinner, this royal dinner becomes a perfect lesson for Tom, becomes a perfect lesson for Tom to learn the customs and traditions, the customs and traditions associated with royal dinners, associated with royal dinners. Royal dinners. Tom makes a lot of blunders. Tom makes many blunders. Tom makes many blunders, but through these blunders, Tom gathers much experience. Tom gathers much experience and skills, much experience and skills in taking royal dinners, royal dinners. Next paragraph. Tom is specially dressed. Tom is specially dressed. Tom is specially dressed for this occasion. And taken to a large dining room. Taken to a large dining room. Dining room. Full stop. Royal servants are already there. Royal servants are already there, waiting for Tom's arrival. Waiting for Tom's arrival. Full stop. Tom's humorous blunders begin. Tom's humorous blunders, blunders. Tom's humorous blunders begin to appear as soon as he stands by the table. As soon as he stands by the table. As soon as he stands by the table. Full stop. He tries to begin his meal. He tries to begin his meal before the religious service. Before the religious service. And at awful court, Tom is not used to such function. To such functions. Full stop. When he is seated, a napkin is worn, W-O-R-N, worn around Tom's neck in order to protect, the valuable costume, from the falling food particles. Falling food particles, P-A-R-T-I-C-L-E-S. P-A-R-T-I-C-L-E-S. Falling food particles. Full stop. Tom has no knowledge about the use of this napkin. The use of this napkin. Therefore, he commands to remove it from his neck. In this way, blunders after blunders appear. Blunders after blunders appear. But No servants. No servants are concerned about them. No servants are concerned about them. Because Tom is a mad prince. Because Tom is a mad prince. And a mad person can do anything abnormal. And a mad person can do anything abnormal. Tom begins to eat with his fingers. Tom begins to eat with his fingers. But the royal custom is to use fork and spoons. Fork and spoons. Cutlery. Cutlery. Fork and spoons. He begins to many unfamiliar food items. He begins to question many unfamiliar food items that he has never seen and eaten. At the end of eating, a bowl of rose water, B-O-W-L, B-O-W-L, a bowl of fragrant rose water is offered to Tom, to wash his mouth and fingers, but he drinks it. Finally, he takes fruit and nuts. He takes fruit and nuts from the dessert bowl, B-O-W-L again, fruit and nuts from the dessert bowl, and fills his pockets with them. He leaves the dining room. Before the religious function. Next paragraph. After this royal dinner, after this royal dinner, Tom is left alone. Tom is left alone in the prince's cabinet to enjoy as he likes. To enjoy as he likes. He begins to play with he begins to play with the true princess. Warsuit, W-A-R, warsuit, S-U-I-T, O-armor, A-R-M-O-U-R. You can see it in the screen. Armor, warsuit. And after that, he begins to eat the stolen fruit and nuts from the dinner table. In the princess bookshelf, in the princess bookshelf, Tom finds a booklet, small booklet about royal etiquette, A-T-I-Q-U-E-T-T-E, customs and manners. Etiquette means, and begins to read it. Begins to read it. Go to the last part of your chapter. When the nuts were all gone, fruit and nuts were all gone, he stumbled upon, he came across, stumbled upon means he found some inviting books in a closet. Closet means bookshelf. Some attractive books, inviting books. Among them, one about the etiquette of the royal court, customs and manners of the royal palace. It's a book about those customs and manners and a good finding for Tom. This was a prize, a gift. He lay upon, sat down a sumptuous divan. Sumptuous means very comfortable divan, chair or seat, proceeded to instruct, went on advice in himself with honest zeal, great enthusiasm. Zeal means enthusiasm, energy. Right. Now that is how Tom behaves after his first royal dinner. Okay.